Okay guys, well, we're going to show the process of getting this parking brake band out. And this one failed. I didn't know at the time, but when I first got the machine and changed the oil, this pin came falling out of the hydraulic transmission oil drain hole. This was up in there, and I thought, oh great, what am I going to do? I'll never find where this came from. But the parking brake was also not working, so I thought that was a logical place to look, and turns out this is where it was from. You can see right here, that's the other side of that spot weld. So whether I got overheated and left on, or whether this rivet through the material broke off this section here and it got jammed and stressed this joint. But anyways, getting this thing out is not that simple. It would be a lot easier if you had the machine apart and could just be working independently on the transmission, but when it's in the vehicle, it's not that easy to get out. So I'll show you the process, and then I think I'm just going to weld this back together, because you can see the wear marks on this there's still a lot of material on here. And it's not like it gets a lot of use. It's parking brake band, so it just gets set, doesn't get rubbed against much at all. Yeah, that's it. So follow me on the journey of getting this thing out. Sorry about that. So seat, super easy to come out. You don't need any help with that. And then there's 4 bolts holding the seat support in, and then you can start taking the floor out. And now I'm at the point where I can get at the top. Oh, there was no parking brake, which was fine for the guy before me because he lived on flat ground, but I'm on a lot of hills, so I don't want to run this thing without being able to put the brake on if I run out of gas or the engine quits on me and I'm pointing downhill. So you could pull this up. I've got the teeth out, so you could pull this up and there's just nobody home on the brake. As well, this is the switch, and that switch is supposed to, if the machine's in gear and the parking brake is on, or that switch is not pressed down, it's supposed to give you an alarm warning you that you're driving around with a parking brake on and just probably burning up the brake band, which I expect is what has happened, because that alarm is not on. And when I do put the ignition on this thing, I get the low oil pressure light, which is there, and then there's these 2 other lights, and I think this is the generator showing you the generator's not charging, which that should be on when you flip the ignition switch. And this one as well, and I think that's to do with the parking brake. I could be wrong about that too. But anyway, this light's not working, this alarm is not working, and you should always fix these things when they're not working, because they're trying to let you know that something is wrong, and you're going to avoid a much more difficult problem later on. Anyway, so I believe what I can do is, now that I've got the floor out of the way, I've loosened most of these bolts. There's one underneath these lines that I haven't got to yet, but I'm hoping to get that top cover off the transmission, and then in here somewhere is the linkage for the brake band, because this I disconnected this lever, that lever goes down there and rotates this shaft that's going this way. And I've tried to clean up here before I open this up, because I don't want dirt falling into the transmission. I'll probably have to change the oil again after I do this, even though I did that very recently, like 30 minutes of machine time ago. But anyway, I'm also curious about the brakes, about the brake pads, what's left in there, but we'll see what it looks like when I hope I can get this off. I just want to do this for myself to show that yes, this is where the long one is. And then this linkage for the clutch I've taken off. Right. See the short one? See the short one there on the right? That one's under here. That one's here. The big one is there. Okay, a couple things. This big bolt is part of this. This is a bracket for this, holding that on. And okay, so there's something here and like a cap that's probably supposed to be on that, that's not on that. And it broke off as soon as I tried to move it. And then there's this connector, which looks like it hasn't been connected to something for a long time. And I'm not sure where that goes. And I dropped a washer. There must have been probably a lock washer that's fallen down. It hit the axle and fell down there, and I can't find it yet. So this turned up underneath. Remember, I lost a washer. This thing fell down. It's larger than I thought it would be, but I'll put that up there somewhere. Okay guys, so I don't like sitting on top of the open transmission like this, that's for sure. But I'm going to actuate the parking brake with my right hand. And you see how this thing's moving around like that? I don't think that's supposed to move like that. Not at all. It's getting close to touching there. Anyway, I guess we need to figure out what's going on with that. So trying to work on, you know, all these linkages while your body is like up here, you need to be like a contortionist, or you're basically trying to work like right between where your feet are and your knees. It's just no place. I couldn't find a comfortable spot, so I've removed the battery box here with hopes that I can stand in here. I don't know if the height's gonna work out, but it's gonna be better than up there, that's for sure. So hopefully that'll give me a little better access. Okay, this was the first guy that came out. Sits in here this way. The two cotter pins that also came out, they register on the back side here and here, and it slots in this way, right in here into these things here, okay, right across, and then the cotter pins go in to hold it there. Okay, third cotter pin was this one right can't figure out how to show this. There's this shaft down here. There's a shaft down here. And that washer went on the outside of it, and then the cotter pin. Okay, fourth cotter pin. Show myself. This goes in. It has a lip on this side. I'm taking it out now for the first time, and stuff is falling. And I don't want to drop it. I don't want to drop it. I'm almost dropping it. I almost dropped it, but I didn't drop it. It goes in that way. The next move was this plug on the outside of the case, screwed right in here. And now this shaft that has these same two biddies as the other one, not to be confused, except I don't know that there are any cotter pins to hold this in, and once I did that, the whole thing fell down. So this is out. This, look at this. Identical. Next move is I'm tapping this pin out to try to get this whole shaft out. Why is this on that side? I want this whole shaft out of the way so I can rotate this whole thingamajig up. So I had to get this pin out because I think the pin's the only thing stopping us from sliding that way. So that did allow the shaft to go all the way out there. And I was able to get this thing out. Don't lose the key. There, don't lose the key. Turn it up. There's understandable. With that down, with that out of the way, we move this whole thing up. We move this whole unit up here. So it's just spinning around, so we should be able to get this off very soon. Next thing I'm doing is I'm unscrewing this screw, which should let me have the pin down there. That's what happened next. So next I'm gonna unscrew this and get this little tray out of the way because I'm hoping that the band can get out of its track and come into this opening out here. Okay guys, that did it. By moving the tray also has a I don't know, kind of guard thing here. Where is my guard thing here? The tray has a guard thing. There's just one bolt holding that on, and then I was able to bend this over enough to get the pin out. Once you get into this area here, just push it over and get it out. So now can it move over? Can it get over there to help get out? Because there's nothing left. It's just a band now.